Hi guys, welcome to Yoga with Gemma. This is an hour-long intermediate Hatha Flow class. You'll need a mat, a belt and a block. If you don't have one, find something to improvise and let's get started. Coming to the top of your mat, interlace your fingers behind your back and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Release the hands without moving the shoulders, grounding down through the soles of the feet, lifting through the crown of the head. Pull up the knees and the thighs, Uddiyana Mula Bandha, root lock, tummy lock, sucking the tummy in, front ribs in, shoulders down and open. Begin to deepen the breath, coming into stillness as we prepare for our sun salutations. Inhale, reach up to the sky, lift and lengthen out of the waist. Taking another sip, expanding the rib cage. Exhale, fold forward from the waist. Touch the head on the knees. Inhale, come halfway up, suck the belly in. Exhale, place your hands on the mat and take a big step back, coming to plank. Easy first time round, we're going to drop the knees, the chest and the chin to the mat. Snaking forwards. Inhale, coming into our first upward facing dog. Gently dropping the head back, shoulders rolling down the back. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, come into downward facing dog. Have your feet hip width apart. Micro bend the knee if your shoulders are tight. Walk the legs if you need to. Feel the stretching down the backs of the legs. Spread the fingers into the mat. Really breathe into the upper back, expanding the rib cage with every breath. Your throat is soft. You're looking through your legs. Think about the belly button moving towards the thighs. Breathe and look towards your palms. Lift the heels. Bend the knees, take a big step forwards, toes in line with the fingers. Inhale, lift the head halfway up. Exhale, bring the head to the knees. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach up tall, lift up out of the waist. Exhale, bring your hands to the heart center. And Samastitihi. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward from the waist, touch your head on the knees. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, big step back into plank, chaturanga, knees, chest and chin, or full chaturanga, elbows next to the body. Inhale, come into upward facing dog. Move the shoulders down and away from the ears. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. And breathe. Try and press the heels down into the mat. Spread the fingers, the palms on the floor. Make sure you're not lifting up the knuckles. Scoop the belly in. Try and move your head closer towards the floor, hips shooting up towards the sky. Breathe. And look towards your fingers, palms. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Big step, jump or float forwards. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head to knees. Inhale, coming all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Samastitihi. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward from the waist. Inhale, head up. Exhale, jump, step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe, 5 breaths. Long Deep inhalation and a long, full exhalation. Relax your jaw. Suck the belly in. Deep stretching down the backs of the legs. And look towards your palms. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Jump, step or float forwards. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, head to the knees. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, bring the hands up above the head. Exhale, fold forward from the waist. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, jump back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. And look to the palms, lift the heels, bend the knees. Step, jump or float forwards. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head to the knees. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Samastiti. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. Head to knee. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale. Chaturanga. Elbows next to the body. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Look to your palms, lift the heels, bend the knees, take a big step, jump or float forwards. Inhale, head up. Exhale, hit the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up to stand. I'm going to take a little back bend here. So if you're feeling tight, just bringing your hands to the tops of the hips. Have your fingers pointing down towards your buttocks. You're going to inhale, gently drop the head back, opening the chest towards the sky. Pushing the hips forwards and gently go back. Inhale to cover. You can do that again. If you feel strong, you can bring the arms up above the head, and we're going to incorporate a back bend. Inhale, lift and lengthen out of the waist. And coming out. Exhale, hands to the heart center, Samastiti. And now coming into a forward bend, bending forward from the hips. Exhale as you go down. Wrap the elbows behind the calf muscles, stepping onto the tips of the fingers with the heels, relaxing the head, neck and shoulders. The face coming down below the knees. Try to straighten the legs. Glue your upper body against your thighs as you try to straighten the legs. Pull on the backs of the knees. Try to relax the head, neck and shoulders. No tension. And then again, sandwiching that face against the shins if it's available to you. Keep those elbows tightly wrapped in behind the calf muscles. As you feel that deep stretching down the backs of the legs. And release, bend the knees. Slowly rolling up, uncurling, head coming up last. All the way up to the top. and taking a nice deep breath in as if you're taking a jumper off. Bring the arms up above the head. Exhale. Bring the elbows out to the sides. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And bring your hands behind your back, interlacing the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Come to the center of your mat. Samastitihi. Pull up the knees and the thighs. Tummy sucking in. Inhale, both hands above the head. And interlace the fingers. We're going to lift up and over to the right side. Inhale. Holding the breath at the top of the lungs, leaning the body to the right. Using your abs, toning and trimming the waist. Don't let the upper body collapse forwards. Keep the head up. Keep the triceps by the ears, pushing the hips towards the left side of the room or the space. And really reaching and pulling with the right hand onto the left hand. A nice tight grip with the fingers. Inhale, coming up to stand. We're going to go to the other side. Inhale, lift and lengthen out of the waist. This time the left hand's going to pull and really grip tightly the knuckles of the right hand. Lift up. Exhale as you go over to the left side, really reaching and pulling. Feel that nice stretching all the way down the right side of your body. Imagine you're in between two walls. You can't collapse forwards or backwards. Inhale, we come back up to stand. Samastitihi. Now part the legs apart. I'm going to come into a warrior sequence. Turn the right toes towards the right side of the room. Bring your arms out to the sides. So you should have your ankles roughly underneath your wrists. Two heels in one line. Look towards your right palm. Inhale. Bend that front knee. If you're feeling strong, 90-degree angle with that front thigh and the ground. Strong legs. Reverse the warrior. Inhale, reaching up and over towards the left side. Feel the stretching between the shoulder blades. The rib cage and the hip. If you want to, you can tuck your right hand around the back. Tuck your fingers in the top of the thigh crease. Inhale, coming back to the center. Now straighten that front leg. We'll go for a wide leg trikonasana. Inhale. Exhale, lean the body to the right. Bring that right hand to the top of the right foot. Grab onto the big toes and turn your head to look towards your left palm. If this is too much for you, just come up the leg and grab onto the shin bone. Keeping two arms in one line. Make sure you're not collapsing forwards. Breathe. Strong, active legs, pulling up the thighs. Inhale, come all the way up to the center. Coming back into our warrior. Inhale. Exhale, lean the body to the right, coming into Parsvakonasana. So this right hand is just here to guide you, so we don't want to sink in the shoulder like this. If you feel like you want to go deeper, drop your right hand to the floor, to the mat. Fingers in line with the toes. Keep the rib cage lifting up towards the sky and reach towards the right side of the room. Keep lifting the arch of the back foot, pressing the outside edge of your back foot into the mat. Make sure that you have a 90-degree angle with that front leg, knee above ankle. And coming into pivoting the back toes, heel toe that front foot to the edge, outside edge of the mat. We're just going to weight onto the outside edge of that foot, just gently dropping that knee out to the side. Feel the stretching moving into the buttocks. And if you feel comfortable too, you're coming down onto the elbows. And dropping that back knee to the floor. Coming back up. And we're just going to heel toe that foot back in, just a couple of inches. We're just now going to sink that left hip down towards the mat. Let the left shoulder come up towards the ear. And then we're going to wrap this right hand around the knee and just gently pulling that knee into the head. Cradling that leg, the knee into the head. You should feel a gentle pulling sensation down your left side across the hip flexor. And release, coming back to the center. Coming up now, so keeping the back knee on the floor and bringing the hands up towards your hip. Bring that body up. Gently, we're going to drop that head back. Keep your hands on your hips. Open the chest to the sky. And slowly coming up. Placing the hands on the floor, tuck your toes under at the back. Coming into a plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Breathing it out, holding it here. And look towards your palms, lift the heels, bend the knees, jumping forwards, keeping the knees bent now. Look at your toes. We're going to come into Utkatasana, bringing the hands above the head. Look at your toes. If you can't see your toes, you need to move your knees back. And then lift the eyes to the sky. Gently tucking the tailbone under, sucking the belly in, activating the legs. Working deep into the thighs. Weight is back in the heels. Inhale, coming all the way up to stand. And come to Samastitihi. Again, we're going to part the legs. Again, having your ankles underneath your wrists. We're going to turn those left toes out towards the left side of the room. And the back foot, 45-degree angle. Coming into preparation for our warrior pose. Look towards your left palm. Inhale. Exhale, bending that front leg now. Just checking that your knee is above the ankle in a straight line. 2 heels in one line. 90-degree angle with that front thigh if you feel strong. Breathe. Focus the eyes at one point ahead of you. And let's go into reversing the warrior. Inhale. Drop that back arm. Look up and under. Option to tuck the fingers into the crease of your thigh. Breathe. Inhale, coming back to the center. Straighten that front leg now. Wide leg Trikonasana. Inhale. Exhale, lean the body to the left. Bring that left arm to the top of the left foot, ankle, or coming up the shin, wherever is comfortable for you. If you want to grab the toe, go for it. Turning the head to look towards your right palm. Activate the legs. Pull up the knees and the thighs. Suck the belly in. Open the shoulder. Don't collapse it forwards. and release. Inhale, we come all the way up to stand. From here we're going to bend that front knee again, coming back into warrior. Inhale, exhale, leaning the body to the left, bringing that right hand up and over the top of the head. This elbow is just here to guide you. If you want to go deeper, bringing that hand to the floor, toes in line with the fingers. Try to have the weight evenly distributed on the front hand and the front foot. Keep lifting the arch of the back foot, pressing the outside edge of the foot into the floor as you reach, stretching the whole of the right side of your body. Look towards your fingers. As you exhale, pivot onto the back toes. And we're just going to heel toe that front foot out to the edge of the mat and just really releasing into that hip. So rolling onto the outside edge of that front foot, dropping the knee out to the side. Drop the back knee to the floor if you feel comfortable, coming down onto the elbows, otherwise staying where you are. And breathe. And slowly be coming back up. Just heel toe that foot in, just a couple of inches. Gently going to sink into that right shoulder and let that right hip come dropping down towards the mat. And then cradling that knee into the head, curling the head in to the knee. And release, coming back up, bring your body up, bring your hands to your hips now, just really sinking down into that hip flexor. If you feel comfortable, stay here if this is too much for you, but if you feel comfortable, gently dropping the head back, opening the heart center towards the sky. And release, finding the floor, place your hands on the mat, tuck your toes under, come back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Breathing into the upper back. Exhale, press the heels into the floor. Push the hands into the floor. Soft throat, relaxing the jaw. Look towards your hands, lift the heels, bend the knees, jump, step or float forwards. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, head to the knees, and let's go for another Utkatasana on the other side. Make sure you can see your toes and then lifting the eyes to the sky. Keep that tailbone tucked under. Breathe. Suck the belly in. Inhale, come up to the center. Exhale, bring your hands to the sides. Samasthiti. Coming to the center of your mat. We're going to go for the eagle pose. Standing up nice and tall. Inhale, reach the hands up above the head. Exhale. Cross the arms, right arm underneath the left, crossing and twisting like ropes. Pull the elbows down, try to bring the fingers below the nose. If you can't fully grasp the hands, just grab the thumb. Focus the eyes on one point ahead of you, bending the knees, transferring the weight onto the left leg, picking up the right leg, crossing the thigh over the top of the left leg, and if it's available to you, tucking the toes behind the calf muscle. Keep focusing those eyes one point ahead of you And try to make yourself as small as you can by squeezing. Keep the upper body lifted, do not bend forwards. Improving the balance, toning the digestive organs, and release. Fresh oxygenated blood flushing out each and every joint in the body. Let's do the other side. Inhale, reach the hands up above the head. Exhale, this time wrapping the left arm underneath the right. Standing up nice and tall. Squeeze the triceps, biceps. Bringing those fingers down below the nose and bending the knees. This time picking up the left leg and crossing that left leg over the top of the right thigh. Keep the eyes focused 1 point ahead of you, tucking those toes behind the right calf muscle. And try to make yourself as small as you can. Keep the upper body lifted, lifting from the crown of the head. Squeeze each and every joint in your body, restricting the blood flow, toning the calf muscles as you release. Fresh oxygenated blood flushing out the joints. Come back to the tops of your mat. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, fold forward from the waist, touch your head on your knee. Inhale, lift the head, look forwards. Exhale, jump back, chaturanga. Inhale, come into upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Lift the right leg high. Bend the leg that's lifted. Keep the weight even and comfortable on both shoulders. Feel a stretch moving into the thigh muscle. Point the toes, straighten the leg again. We're going to take a big step forward. Coming into a deep lunge, low lunge. Bring the hands up above the head. And this time we're going to bring this left elbow to the outside edge of the front thigh. That's the left elbow to the outside edge of the right thigh, bringing the hands to the heart center. We'll look back towards the back of the room. You can stay here or you can open the arms and go for the bind. Left hand holding the right wrist behind your back if it's available to you. Try and steady the breath. Push back through that back heel. Moving into some deeper spinal twists. And release. Chaturanga, finding the floor. Remember, knees, chest, chin. If it gets too much, inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Bend the leg that's lifted. Keep the weight even and comfortable in both shoulders. Point the toes again, straighten the leg. Look towards your palms. You're going to take a big step forwards. Make sure that your ankle is below the knee. Focus your eyes. Bring your hands up above your head. And this time we're going to twist the torso towards. Bringing the right elbow to the outside edge of that front knee. Bring your hands to prayer in front of the heart center. Breathe. If you want to go deeper, going for the bind, opening the arms and bringing the hands to clasp behind your back. And release. Coming out the same way that you went in. Finding the floor. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, knees. Sit back down. Resting your bum on your heels. Keep the arms outstretched in front of you. Exhale, bringing your forehead to the floor. Third eye on the mat. Close your eyes. Relax your tummy. Big Buddha belly. Let go. Send all that no longer serves you into the ground. Relax a little bit deeper with every exhalation. Inhale, lift the head, and coming up onto all fours, we're doing a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding the spine, look towards your belly button. Inhale to arch the spine, look towards the sky. Exhale, rounding the back, look towards your belly button. Inhale, arch the spine. Exhale to round the back. Tuck your toes under, pushing up into downward facing dog. Look towards your hands, lift the heels, bend the knees, big step, jump or float forwards. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head to knees. Inhale, coming all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart center, Samastiti. Let's do a little tree before moving into the floor. Finding your balance, picking up the right leg, sole of the foot pressing the inside of the thigh, bringing your hands to the heart center, lifting up through the crown of the head. Keep the tailbone tucking under. You can also have your foot here if you can't manage to have it on the thigh. And release the leg. And moving into the other side. Standing on the right leg this time. Pick up your left leg. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Find stillness. Imagine the roots of the tree, like a tree, going all the way down into the ground, into the center of the earth. And release. Vinyasa to the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, head up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And come to sit on the mat. Legs out straight in front of you. Move the fleshy parts of the bum out of the way. If you can't sit up like this, you can sit on a or a cushion. Flex your toes towards the ceiling, have your fingers facing forwards. Suck the belly in, chin parallel to the floor. Root lock, tummy lock, pulling everything in and up, pelvic floor muscles. Bring the chin towards the chest, chin lock. Hold the energy. Keep the shoulder blades back towards each other. And inhale, reaching hands up above the head. Reach up out of the waist, coming forward into Paschimottanasana. If you can, grabbing onto the big toes with the index and middle fingers. Otherwise, grabbing a belt, wrap a belt or a sock around your feet and holding onto the belt. Think about lengthening the spine. Think about your belly button moving towards the thighs, nose towards the toes, lengthening forwards. And after a few moments, and you can't go forward anymore, you can slowly exhale. Begin to round the back and bringing your forehead towards the knees. Eventually the face on the shins below the knees. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Inhale, calming up to the center. Let's go for a second round. Inhale, stretch the hands up towards the sky. And exhale, folding forwards over the legs. Again, grabbing the toes, grabbing the feet or using your belt. Bend forwards over the legs. Deep stretching down the backs of the legs. Keep flexing those toes towards the sky. And release. Let's go for a little pike. See if you can lift your bum off the floor. If you're feeling strong, perhaps you can lift your feet and your bum off the floor. Exhale, fold forward. And lift. And release. Coming into Janu Shirasasana. Bending your left leg, have the heel of the foot, sole of your foot on your inside of your right thigh. Inhale, bring both hands up above the head. Dropping your right hand, same arm as leg is straight. Brush the torso, brush across your belly. Just square the torso towards the leg. Belly button kisses the inside of that right thigh as you fall forward over the leg. Again, if you feel tight, use the belt. Try to bring your chin over the knee, lengthening before you fold forwards. Inhale, coming up to the center. And your legs. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So this time bringing your right sole of your foot to the inside of the left thigh. Left toes flex towards the ceiling. Inhale, both hands up above your head. Dropping that left arm now, brush across the belly. Torso faces towards the leg. Squaring the hips, reaching forwards over that leg. Trying to bring the chin over your knees. Stretching deep down the back of the left leg now. And release. Coming back up to the center, let's go for Baddha Konasana. Bringing the soles of the feet together, sitting up nice and tall. Holding onto the feet as if you're reading a book. Try not to grab the toes or holding your ankles. Sitting up nice and tall. Lift and lengthen, and I'm folding forwards over the thighs, nose beyond the toes. And when you can't go forward anymore, you feel the stretching on the inner thighs. Begin to round the back, bringing your forehead down towards your toes. Exhale. Curling over. Inhale, coming all the way up. And then just moving your feet about 4 inches further away. making a bigger diamond shape on the floor. We're going to do exactly the same thing again, folding over the legs. So now you feel the stretch moving more into your buttocks. Bringing the head towards the soles of the feet. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, bring the legs out wide. Into a nice deep straddle. Flex the toes towards the ceiling. And we're just going to think about gently tilting that pubic bone forwards towards the ground. If you're feeling tight, again, sit on a block or sit on a cushion. And just do what you can. Maybe you walk forwards and coming down onto the elbows. Just relax into the pose now. No tension anywhere. Close your eyes. Use the breath. Trying to relax into the posture. The posture begins, the work begins when you want to leave. So always stay that little bit longer. Focusing on the breath. Every time you go in, you go a little bit further towards the floor. Inhale, slowly coming all the way up to sit. And releasing the legs. We're going to find our way to lie down on our back. Just releasing the lower spine. Have your feet just a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're just going to gently windscreen wiper the legs. Drop one knee towards the floor and the other knee out to the side. Just gently a few times. Just loosening up that lower back now. And coming back to the center. And slowly picking up the right leg. Interlacing the fingers. Have a nice tight grip just below the knee. And pull the knee into the chest. Breathe into the belly. Belly pushes against the thighs and squeeze that knee into the chest. Circle the ankle a few times in both directions. And gently drop that knee out to the right side. Bring the left hand to the top of the hip and the right hand to the inside of that knee, gently pressing down. Feel the stretching on the inner thigh. And lazily give that leg a push. Slide it back down the mat and come back into Shavasana. You should feel as though your right leg is slightly elongated, a little bit longer than the left. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale, relax into the floor. Preparing for the other side. Again, letting that left leg come up now, dropping that knee out to the side, avoiding the rib cage. Interlacing the fingers below the knee and squeezing that knee into the chest. Big Buddha belly, breathing into the belly. Circling the ankle a few times in both directions. Feel the belly pushing against the thigh. Really squeeze, have a nice tight grip with the fingers. Gently drop that knee out to the side. Place the right hand on the hip, left hand on the inner knee of the left leg. Feel that stretching on the inner thigh. And slowly sliding that foot along the mat to reach the other foot. Coming into Shavasana. Now bringing the soles of the feet to the mat. Hip width apart. Arms by the side of your body. Fingertips just brushing the backs of the heels. Tuck your tailbone under. Chin down towards the bony part of your chest. Preparing to move into some back bending. We're going to press into the floor and roll the hips up towards the sky. Squeeze the buttocks, the backs of the legs. Really lift those hips up as high as you can. Toning the legs. See if you can lift the right leg up high, really pressing down into the floor with the left leg. Point the toes and change the legs. Lift the left leg up this time. Point the toes. Squeeze the buttocks. Work the thigh muscles. And slowly lowering down. Come back into Shavasana. Take a nice deep breath in. And relax your body into the ground. Preparing for your bridge pose, Dhanurasana. Bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. Reach the hands up over the head. Have your hands next to your ears, fingers facing the body. Take a nice deep breath in and push yourself up, lifting the whole of the body off the floor. Let the head fall back. If you're feeling tight in the shoulders, coming up onto the toes, try to walk the hands a little bit closer to your feet. Really trying to release into the shoulders. Now placing the heels on the floor. See if you can have a little rock, bending and straightening the legs. Think about pushing those armpits away from you. Trying to bring those shoulders above the wrists. And gently rolling down, tuck the chin into the chest. Give yourselves a big hug. Rolling from left to right. Releasing the lower spine. Breathing into the middle back. Little circles. Massaging, releasing any tension from your lower back. Now reaching around, grabbing the outside edges of your feet. Lift the head and look through your legs, coming into happy baby. Letting any tension go from your lower spine, your middle back. And release. Give yourselves a little rock and roll yourselves up to sit and come to the center of your mat. Come onto the knees. Easier back bending your hands at the lower spine. And we're going to gently push those hips forwards. Lean the body back. This might be enough for you. You can stay here. If you want to go a little deeper, gently dropping the head back, opening the heart center. Maybe that's enough for you. And moving into the full posture, we drop the hands to grab onto the backs of the heels. And push the hips forwards, let the head fall backwards. Opening and expanding through the heart center, deep back bending. Stay for as long as you can, gently coming out of the posture. And bringing the forehead down towards the mat. Bringing the hands next to the side of the body, palms face the ceiling, come into child's pose. Resting third eye into the floor. Breathe into the belly. Exhale, release. Send all that no longer serves you into the floor. Resting here a moment. Relaxing the shoulders, the jaw, the back of the neck. And slowly coming up. Coming onto the knees, preparing for the headstand, the king of postures. Grab the elbows Place your elbows onto the floor and then moving into preparation for headstand, interlacing the fingers, placing the forearms on the floor, placing the crown of your head, the hard part of your head, just in front of the fingers on the floor. We're going to come up onto the toes without moving the hands and shoulders. Walk the feet towards the head to bring the hips above the shoulders, and slowly with control coming up, lifting one leg then the other, straightening the legs up into headstand. Using the abs, try to keep the feet above the hips, above the shoulders. Really point the legs, the toes, and then flexing the feet. Play around with a half point and a half flex. See what feels better to get the stability and the balance. This is known as the king of all postures. There's so many benefits. Try to stay for as long as you can. And if you're feeling confident, you can try to bring the legs forward into a pike. 90-degree angle with the floor. Use the hips to counterbalance. Slowly coming down and then bringing the legs back up. And then coming back down into pike again. Really working the core. And then coming back down onto the mat. And coming back into a child's pose. And release. Relax the neck and shoulders. Sending all that no longer serves you into the floor. Feeling a nice rush of energy to the brain after the headstand. Coming into a spinal twist, we're going to pick up the left foot, cross it over the top of the right leg, over the top of the right knee, and tuck that right foot in towards the hips, Reaching up now with the opposite arm to the leg and turning torso towards the leg. We're going to come into a spinal twist. Press down into the floor with the back arm. Push into the thigh to help you twist. Lifting and lengthening through the spine on the inhalation. Exhale to twist. Looking over that back shoulder. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to twist. Keep the fingers active. And release. Coming to the other side. This time tucking that left foot, crossing the left foot over the top of the right leg and tucking the right toes towards the bum, the hips. Reaching up now with that left arm, crossing torso towards the leg. Use the arm to push into the thigh to help you to twist. The back arm pressing down into the floor. Inhale to lengthen the spine, exhale to twist. Looking towards the back of the room. And breathe. Neutralizing the spine after deep back bending. Twists are great for releasing any tension in the lower back and the middle back. And release. And let's lie back down on our backs. Again, placing the soles of the feet onto the floor. Tuck your tailbone under, shoulders down the back, chin down towards the chest, preparing for Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand. Slowly going to bring the feet up above the head. And coming into Halasana. If it's available to you. If it's not, you can use a wall, put your feet on the wall, or even a chair, placing your feet onto the chair. Otherwise, placing the feet on the floor above your head. Keep the shoulders open, keep the elbows as far back behind you as you can, and then just bringing the hands to support the back holding onto the rib cage. Think about flexing those heels away from your head, so increasing that stretch. The chin will naturally come in towards the bony part of your chest. If you're feeling flexible and strong, interlace the fingers behind your back and bring the hands down towards the floor. Deepen the stretch, coming into plow. And then when you're ready, bringing one leg, then the other leg up into full shoulder stand. Try to bring the feet above the hips and the hips above the shoulders. Play around with pointing the toes, flexing the toes. And then maybe you'd like to cycle your legs. Feel the blood draining down through the legs towards the heart and the brain, energizing the body. Perhaps you'd like to hook one toe behind the other. Hook one toes behind the ankle. Squeeze those thighs together. Push the hips forwards. And if you're doing that, do that on the other side. Just helps to take the pressure off. Makes it a little bit easier to hold the pose for longer. Strong students coming into neck stand. See if you can catch the balance. Using your chin lock. The chin is pressed against the bony part of your chest. Bringing those hands to the sides of your body. Again, trying to push the hips forwards. And bringing those feet above the hips and shoulders in one line. Come back into your shoulder stand and again back into halasana. And the option to reach the hands above the head, grabbing onto the heels. Bring those knees into the ears, pindasana. Really releasing the neck and the shoulders, getting rid of any last bits of tension from the body. And release the legs. Come up into your shoulder stand one last time. And place the hands onto the floor, slowly rolling down the spine, all the way down to lie down on your backs. Preparing for the last posture, we press the elbows into the floor, lift the body up, gently drop the head back, place the crown of the head on the floor, expanding through the heart center, coming into the fish pose, Matyasana. The weight is on the head, and we're just going to do one lion's breath. So we're going to take a deep breath in. On the exhalation, the tongue comes down over the chin, the eyes roll towards the third eye. Exhaling through the mouth. Inhale. And again. And slowly release the posture. Make sure you're on the center of your mat. Tuck your tailbone under. Roll the shoulders down the back, long neck, chin down towards the chest. Let your feet fall out to the sides, have your palms facing the sky or the ceiling. Close your eyes, coming into Shavasana, the final pose and the most important pose. Relax the whole of your body. Feel the weight of your body melting into the ground, into the earth. No tension anywhere. Let your breath return to its natural ebb and flow. With every exhalation, you relax further, melting into the ground. Feel the waves of relaxation rolling up your body from your toes, all the way up to the crown of the head, relaxing your feet, your calves, your knees and thighs, relaxing your hips, your lower back and your tummy. No tension, just let go. Relaxing the middle spine, the upper back and the rib cage. Melting, relaxing. Your hands, fingers and palms, the forearms, elbows, upper arms and shoulders. Relaxing your neck, the back of the head and the jaw. No tension anywhere. Relaxing your face. Your tongue falls away from the roof of your mouth. Eyelids are heavy as you drift off into Shavasana. Slowly start to breathe life back into your body. Start moving your toes and your fingers. And take a big stretch. Reach the hands up above the head. Point the toes. Take a deep breath in. Slowly rolling over onto your favorite side. Resting here a moment in the fetus position. And then slowly coming up to the center. Sitting up nice and tall, crossed leg position or half lotus. Take a nice deep breath in. Bring your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes. Give your thanks. 3 things that you're grateful for in your life today. Bring the hands up to the third eye. Namaste.